Good morning, everybody. This is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. Today is November the 8th, and I haven't been making a moon and sign video for a while now, and so I wanted to go ahead and do that and give you some information about how it is working within us. So today, actually, I believe it began yesterday. The moon entered into Leo. Yes, yesterday. And so yesterday and today we will have moon in Leo. And Leo is a representation of the sun. It is a fire element. Within the astrological perspective, Leo represents the sun. And the sun in relationship to the earth gives us our fire, our light. So that's what Leo does for the astrological signs, or astrologically speaking. And when we think in terms of ourselves, our inner being, Leo represents our heart. And that is where the fire emits from. Now, there are two types of flames that could come from the heart of Leo. Fire that moves you forward with divine love, or fire that's stemming from lower vibrations, such as fear or anger. And when we are thinking in terms of the heart, you have to go beyond what the functioning of the heart is, because in order for the heart to pump, we must have a breath within us. So the heart correlates with the breath, or the lungs, or the element of air. If we are not being conscious of the way that we breathe, then quite possibly the way that our heart is functioning isn't proper as well. I know for myself in my past, I used to be very anxious, fear-based, and I used to hold in a lot of emotions. I've also suffered, or had suffered, from asthma, stemming from as early as I can remember. And for myself, with associated with my asthma, that is, mine for the most part, it did of course take place when I was physically active, but for the most part, I was an emotional asthmatic. As my emotions, whether good or bad, changed depending on the severity, I developed an asthma attack. So there became a restriction there. But throughout my path here, because I became more conscious of my breath, and when we are more conscious of our breath, we begin to think properly. So along my path, I became conscious of the way that I was breathing. Most of the time, we are breathing at the high chest area. We are breathing up top, and that is the incorrect process of breathing. Our breathing can be so severe, and you can see someone's chest continuously rising, telling us that that person is probably at a high intense point of their life or time of the day. Or some people are very anxious, which causes high breathing. When you are conscious of the way that you take in air, you are being more mindful. You are being conscious of what that air can do for you. And air is consciousness. Air is God. When we are continuously breathing in air and are conscious of our own breath, we are allowing consciousness to embed in our mind, rotate to our heart, and move throughout our entire body. Now this is when the other fire that is also in relationship to the Leo heart fire, that in time when the process is ready to awaken, you ignite the sexual fire, the holy fire, the fire of spirit, to merge and to even help you become even more awake, more conscious. So we have a chance at allowing the fire or the sun of Leo to channel in through our heart and utilize that heart energy properly within ourselves and within the world. Because if we are unable to deal, understand, and face our true being inside, the being that is connected with Source, we are actually choosing the animal self, the self that is related to lower desires, lower emotions, lower feelings, our past pain. And we're building this block up again. Excuse me. We have to be able to properly transform these energies and to use it for its proper use. There's always an opposite to whatever we are facing. And now something that I am going to I'm looking through my notes here. Go back into the Bible here and on how to a concept of being more mindful. So this is a verse in the Bible that I discovered. I can't remember. I know God brought me there, of course, but how it worked out, I can't recall without having to go back into my notes. And this is also something I'll explain in relationship to it worked with me in the terms of my my weight. And so it states here in Matthew 15:11, it's not that what goes into the mouth that defiles a man, but that comes out of the mouth that defiles the man. And I am reading this in my own words here. And then it continues. Jesus, down in 15:17, Jesus asks, you don't understand yet? That anything that enters into the mouth must go into the belly and into the drought. And those things that proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart that defiles you. because everything that comes from our heart is what we truly believe in. So if you are taking in information, being unconscious of what you are taking in, whether it's from people, news, whatever it is, your surroundings, and things you are reading or listening to, that's including everything you're taking in. And it is bringing you fear, bringing you anger, bringing you animosity, bringing you that negative aspect of fire. Because there is still a positive side and a negative side of every element. There's a positive side to Leo and a negative side to Leo. There's a positive side to fire and a negative side to fire. How you perceive it, how you take it in, and how you use it matters and will get you further away or closer to a point of your life, either far from God or close to God, far from your own being or closer to your being. Now, I did use this Bible verse to implement faith in the beginning. So this came to me early on in my process. During that time, and it was, it seemed like my weight of 20 pounds came on within weeks. It could have been months, but it just felt so quick. And I was active. I was watching everything that I was eating because I was a fitness coach at that time. And when I read this, I was like, are you serious? So what that was telling me in relationship to food and in relationship to all things in life, my perspective, and I'm going to use a piece of chocolate cake, or should I use pizza? It doesn't matter. Whatever is your favorite thing, your favorite indulgence, and actually mac and cheese is my go-to. Excuse me. If you are a person who looks at fast food, that chocolate cake, mac and cheese, pizza, and you eat the whole thing, and you see it as, oh my gosh, I really shouldn't eat that, or I shouldn't have eaten that, because now I'm going to get fat. Now I'm going to become more I'm going to become unfit, even more so. I'm going to become immobile. Whatever it is, I'm going to become more ugly as a result of this. You're taking in waste. Waste. There's no way that food, whether it's food through your mouth, food through the mind, food of the ears, of all of your senses, it doesn't matter. If you see it as negative, negative it will be. If you take in positive things in your life, you're going to transform what you are taking into your life. If you embed it into your heart and move with what that type of understanding, you are going to increase it. You're going to increase that fire. So yes, I use this to embed divine faith in my life. That I'm nourishing my life with food here, because I was already also embedding positivity and faith through the mind, but I had to transform it into other areas of my life. I took what I understood by being a faithful individual, that my thoughts and my actions must match, and I transformed it and moved it into my thoughts and my actions must match, even with my food, even with what I drink, even with what I'm doing. Now, I am not saying go ahead and eat fast food all you want. I'm not saying drink alcohol in excess all you want. As long as you have a good thought, you'll be okay. I'm not saying that, because what I'm saying, faith, hope, love, a fire that is used in proper context will always have a proper result. because now I don't eat whatever I want all the time. I am to the point of my process that I know now when I am wanting something that I don't usually eat on a daily basis. It's because my body is asking me for it. And when I do go to eat something, I treat it with respect and love, knowing that it's going to do its job for me. Because if my body is asking me for something, though, and I see it as a negative thing, I'm taking that beautiful feeling or expression that's coming from in, and I'm not trusting it. Therefore, what I am taking in is going to become poison. I hope that makes sense. So I eat properly as best as I possibly can throughout this journey. We all know, and of course this video isn't really supposed to be about food, but we all know that throughout our process, we're going to develop sensitivities. We're going to develop all kinds of changes within ourselves that's going to require us to give up, omit, and try other things. For myself lately, I have been on a diet of spinach, pretty much eating spinach for a couple of weeks, and I'm trying to change it up a little bit, but that's all that I seem to be able to take in. Other things are just making me gag, kind of. My taste buds are changing again. And we will often have that. And if you are unable to go with the flow and trust your process, you're again not using that fire, the element of fire from the Leo heart that is speaking to you. Because when we listen to our heart to mind connection, we are living from our most inner being, the fire of Leo, and we are harnessing it properly. Therefore, the actions that come out are going to be of just or even greater. Therefore, the words we speak are going to be of just or greater. Our thoughts are going to be of just or greater. But if we're using our fire and switching it back to being a negative aspect, that fire is going to deplete us, not just emotionally, but physically, and health deteriorates. So that is what the moon in Leo is about. Taking in and listening to your true self here, and making the conscious decision to move forward with that beautiful emotion. And by doing so, when you continuously move with the aspect of Leo, the flame of love, you can therefore begin and continue merging with your divine being and divine spirit connection together. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.